Hey guys, welcome to this week's late review of the Encore. Um, what even happened this episode? Keely happened this episode. Like, I would have been able to empathize with Keely and her situation about not really wanting to perform if she wasn't such an asshole this whole entire season to everybody except the twins, right? Because they're scary and you don't want to piss them off. But she was basically a jerk to everybody, right? Very passive aggressive, very much stirring the mess, right? If she was a little bit kinder to others, I could empathize with her. But I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm just really over her. The twins, this episode, I'm actually really impressed with the twins. So they have a little bit of grace from me. But Keely, she has zero. Because why did you come on this show? If you didn't want to perform, why did you come on the show? Right? And why did you, if you didn't perform, why did you spend so much time scaring everybody off? Because if the things with the twins, they're more overt, right? They're more direct with their messiness. But Keely is going behind the scenes stirring the mess. And that's why Pam doesn't F with her, right? When the ladies asked Keely to be in the group, Pam was just sitting on the couch. You could tell she wasn't too happy about it, but Pam, she's a team player, right? I think Pam wants to get her music out there. That's why she's just going along with everything. But you can tell Pam doesn't really F with the other ladies besides Shamari. I think she respects the twins and their talent. She does. But Keely, she doesn't F with Keely, but she also understands that they need Keely. I was actually so shocked that there's only four of them left, right? Besides Keely. I'm actually really surprised. Like, I knew three people left because at the beginning of the season, the house just seemed so overcrowded, right? There just seemed like endless amount of people available. But now at the end, it's like, oh my gosh, there's really only four of you, and you guys have 5 songs to record, and you guys have to be pretty much be in every song and perform everything, except Pam, because Pam doesn't want to talk about anything risque. So it's really on the other four ladies to kind of do everything. It's just a real mess, and I just feel like that is their karma. I wouldn't necessarily say it's karma, more so consequences, because you pushed everybody away, right? So you've kind of created this situation. Keely, you created this situation, you contributed to it, so now you're forced to perform. If you were a little bit more supportive, like Keely is kind of the catalyst for Nivea, Lamisha, and Irish leaving, right? Because she had to go downstairs and talk crap, right, about their dancing to the other ladies, which kind of started the mess. And it's just so ironic now when it comes to Keely. She's practicing and everything, and she's not quite hitting the mark the way the choreographer and the other ladies want her to hit the mark. But to be fair, I mean, I don't know what's with the editing. It's kind of all over the place, so it's hard to really tell what the timeline is. But I will give Keely the benefit of the doubt, right? Because she has to now learn all this choreography. She has to learn the lyrics. She has to do the vocals. Plus, she's the quote unquote creative director. So she does have a lot of responsibility put on her last minute. So she was getting frustrated, right? Because she wasn't getting it down the way the other ladies wanted to get. So just imagine, right? Keely is already stressed out with everything. Completely understandable. Imagine if Shamari or Pam started making fun of Keely, right? Loudly in a group and started laughing at her. how would Keely feel in that situation, right? Keely would probably be like, F this shit, and she'll be out the door. So it really is karma, because what comes around goes around, right? When you're frustrated, when you are having a difficult time, of course, yes, you have to, speak your mind. You got to let the person know, okay, you're not quite getting it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you should just be quiet like Pam and not say anything, right? But there is a way to do so in a respectful way. Like, you wouldn't like to be spoken to in that way. If you are overwhelmed with something, the last thing you want is someone making fun of you and hating on you. So, Keely, her worst nightmare is coming true. And it's her fault because you scared everybody off, right? Because you can say what you want about Lamisha, you can say what you want about Irish, you can say what you want about Nivea. But it is kind of annoying to me because these people wanted to sing. These people wanted to perform, right? Lamisha wanted to show what she could do. She wanted to be on that stage. And now their spot is being given to someone who doesn't want to be there, right? And it just irritates me because they wanted it, right? Sure, they may have not had the dancing skills that Keely has, but at the very least they wanted to do it, right? And all they needed was a little bit of encouragement, and of course they needed to do the work, not talking about Nivea, right? I'm talking more so Lamisha and Irish. Yes, they had work to do, but they wanted to be on that stage, and now their spot is being given to someone who doesn't want to be there, and that just rubs me the wrong way, right? Now, I will say this, being positive, I actually enjoyed this episode because I feel like this is the first episode where the music is the focus, right? The choreography is the focus. Getting the wardrobe together is the focus. Recording the vocals and all that stuff is the focus. And of course, we get a little bit of drama with Keely, but the more of the focus is on the music. And even though we're having drama with Keely, we don't have, it's not a cattiness kind of drama, right? It's Keely struggling with her own internal battle of either letting her group down and sticking to what she feels is right versus having their backs, right? That's interesting to see. I mean, it would have been a little bit more interesting to see if Keely wasn't such a jerk, but that's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. That struggle between what is you think it's right and what you think you're supposed to do versus how you're feeling internally. And I just wish this season we got more of that. We got more of the ladies' personal struggles and overcoming their demons. It would have been nice to see, say, Lamisha struggling at the beginning to find her footing, but then later on, slowly she does the work, she builds the confidence, and she kills it on stage. It would have been great to see Nivea, who's always been a solo artist, right? Navigating being in the group, having her ups and downs, but at the end of the day, being on that stage and killing it. That would have been so great to see, but instead it just became too much about the drama between the other ladies. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have conflict, but it just seemed like there was just no resolution. And it probably wasn't a great idea. I mean, let's be real, Carlos knew what he was doing, having 9 girls. Realistically, I mean, we all kind of knew that wasn't going to work, but I didn't know it was going to fall apart that badly. So, what else happened? Let me just say about Keely as well. She kind of annoyed me, even though I can relate to this, right? When you say yes to something and your heart's not really in it, and then you end up bailing later on, right? In short term, you think you're doing the right thing by saying what you think everybody else wants to hear. But you're doing more damage in the long run, right? Because if she had just said, you know what, no, I don't want to do this, right? Of course, they would have been disappointed in the moment, but they would have had to, they would at least had the time to adjust and accept that, okay, she's not in the group, right? Versus saying yes and then literally what, 72 hours or 48 hours before they're supposed to have this performance saying, actually, never mind, I'm not going to do this anymore. I mean, they already wasted the time recording all the vocals for you, right? They already wasted the time learning the choreography with you, right? And if you do take somebody out of the equation, the choreographer may have to switch things up again, and they don't have that time, so you're really just screwing everybody over. And good, finally Shamari is speaking up, right? She's just basically said, listen, Keely, if you are not going to do this performance, I'm not going to do it. Felicia's not going to do it, Fallon's not going to do it, and Pam's not going to do it, because Pam doesn't even want to do all the songs, right? Because Pam, she has her morals, she has her things that she's willing to do and not willing to do. And listen, we can roll our eyes at Pam all we want, but at least at the end of the day, Pam was honest, right? And straight up with what she wanted. Keely is flip-flopping all over the place, right? And yes, it's annoying that Pam is doing that, but at least they know what it is so they can work around that. So it's just basically like, if you're not going to do it, none of us are going to do it, because we can't do everything all over again. So finally, Keely was like, well, okay, because Keely really doesn't have any choice at this point. And like I said, I don't really feel too much for her, because you helped contribute to the environment that was toxic. You contributed to the toxic environment. You really did. You plot and you schemed, and this is what you get. You helped to scare people off. So now you gotta go on that stage. And like I said, it's sad that that's gonna happen, because there were people that actually wanted to be in that spot. And now it's almost as if you're acting like, I don't know, you're turning your nose up on it. And I just feel like that's just super disrespectful. And her just saying, I don't like to sign autographs, I don't like to go to Hollywood parties, I don't like, and it's like, fine, right? I could totally understand that. But why the hell are you on this show? Why are you on reality television? If you're not about that fame, you want to focus on your kids, your husband, your family, completely okay. Why the hell are you on reality television, right? You're here because the money, you're here because you probably want, a part of you wants that attention. So you can't just come on here and then like, Keely, I'm sorry, I just don't, I can't feel for you. I can't, because you put yourself in this position. So, what else happened this episode? Okay, let me just speak on the twins, right? I wish we saw this side of the twins from the very beginning, right? How they are acting this episode, I wish they acted throughout. Because when the twins specifically, right, were dealing with Keely, I'm gonna be honest, a part of me was like, oh my god, here we go. And I was shocked, completely shocked, the way that they handled Keely, right? One of the twin, I think it was I think it was Fallon, was talking to Keely when Keely was like, I don't think I can perform. I was expecting her to lose her crap, start yelling, start screaming, just behaving in the typical way that they do behave. But she had such patience with her. She was so calm. And I think at that point, to be honest, they were probably over this whole situation, and they did understand that they did put a lot on Keely. So they can kind of understand why she's overwhelmed and they don't want to push things. But I felt like if they handled Lamisha in the same manner, if they handled Nivea in the same way, Nivea, who didn't do anything at all. She was just saying, hey guys, let's speak to each other in a more respectful way. That's all Nivea was saying. Nivea can sing. I'm gonna assume Nivea can dance, or at least she can move, right? Nivea didn't cause any issues. She was just only saying, hey guys, let's be respectful. And the way you snapped and talked to Nivea so disrespectful, it was so unnecessary. And I just feel like if the twins carried the same energy that they had this episode throughout the season, some of these ladies would have still been here. Now, I'm not going to say everybody would have still been there, right? But I don't think they would have lost 4 ladies, right? And it just makes me kind of sad because I see that the twins have that capability, right? They really do. But unfortunately, it took everything, unfolding the way that they did for them to kind of maybe cool it down a little bit. I don't know, maybe production was like, yo, you need to chill at this point. So they're like, you know what, we're gonna chill. And like I said, I just wish this whole season it would have been more about the music, like making the band, for example. Like I mentioned before, yes, it had drama, but it was more about the music. It really was. And learning the choreography and everything. It's like, why is it that we're near the end of the season and we probably only got 2 scenes with the vocal coach? We should have got more scenes with that vocal coach and the ladies singing and them, getting their shit together, right? I love to see the storyline with Shamari kind of being nervous and like about her vocals and whether or not she will be able to perform, and for her to kind of step in that booth and face her fear and show what she can do. I mean, she looked like she was in pain when she was in the booth and she was singing that note. She really looked like, but she did it, right? And that was a great moment. And I was like, oh, we could have had a lot more of those moments. All that being said, I hope there is a second season. This is the first season, so of course they're not gonna get everything right. The wardrobe, I don't know what's going on with the wardrobe. I really don't know. Like, everything is just so choppy. It's hard to kind of really follow what's going on. It's like I just have to take the lady's word for it. I don't know. To me, I just feel like, why are they struggling? Why is this so difficult to get a look together? They've had how many months? Maybe a month, I think, to kind of decide, okay, aesthetically, what look are we going for? And Keely, if you're the creative director, I mean, this should have been done weeks ago, not the last 3 days. You guys are still figuring out what you're gonna look like. I don't know. I don't know about Keely. I don't feel like she was really creative directing. I think she was just drinking a lot of wine, and she was more like a personal assistant, right, to the ladies, like getting the ladies together and organizing them. And not to say that's a bad thing, but I didn't really see any creative directing from her. And even at this point, I'm not seeing any creative directing. I see her more as an organizer. I don't know what you would call that, but that's not a creative director. Anyways, next week is the finale. I'm interested to see what everything is going to look like, but to be honest, I'm not really too enthusiastic with the ladies that are left. I'm not. I will say this, Pam has an absolutely beautiful voice. I love the tone of her voice. It's so unique but strong. I really love her voice, and Pam, to be honest, is the only one I'm rooting for at this point.